Welcome, my name is Ricky, and this is Fallout 76. The footage you're seeing here is from the very early game, and there will be no spoilers for any quest that I could spoil. Today I thought I'd talk just a little bit about my experience playing the Fallout 76 beta on the PC, voice a few concerns I have, stuff like that. First, let's talk storytelling. A big issue that some people had with the concept of 76 was that since there weren't any human NPCs, there wasn't a story, or main plot, or whatever. There is, and it's intriguing, but Fallout 76 does something that no single-player game has or probably will ever do. It doesn't care if you finish the main quest, doesn't care if you start the main quest. It's perfectly fine with you just exploring and doing what you want to do. Making your own fun. And this is where the story shines. Sure, everyone is dead, but that doesn't mean there weren't people and that they didn't have a story to tell. Fallout 76 does environmental storytelling better than any game I have ever played. Take the Mistress of Mystery quest. No spoilers, but I spent most of the beta on Thursday and Saturday following this quest line because it was a bit weird, a bit sad, and a great deal, well, awesome. I could not stop. I had to know what happened next. If you don't know who the Mistress of Mystery is, she is a crime fighter in the world of the Silver Shroud. The Shroud quest in Fallout 4 is perhaps my favorite quest in any Fallout game, and expanding on that was, well, special. Highlight of the beta. The Overseer's story was almost as compelling, driving me to find the next holotape and the next and the next. Naturally, since this is Fallout, it was also heartbreaking. So far, the only vault I've explored is the Vault-Tec University vault, but even that was pretty messed up. I saw the vault symbol for the university, and I knew I had to get capture. If your favorite part of the Fallout games is exploring vaults to find out what twisted experiments they were doing, you won't be disappointed. Now, we need to talk about VATS. I'm not really sure how I feel about VATS right now after spending hours upon hours in the beta. On the one hand, it's still VATS. You pick your target and fire. But it's real time, so I found that aiming down sights was usually just as effective in most situations. And criticals require you to trigger the critical and then fire. It was a little weird and that wasn't fully explained. It takes some time getting used to, and I'm still not 100% comfortable with it. Everything costs AP, so be prepared for that. A big concern in the run-up to the game was other players. Can you really avoid them? Well, yes. After the first 20 minutes or so of the game, when you're running around in Flatwoods, everyone's spread out. That first day, I crossed paths with just one other player after Flatwoods. In post-beta, it's unlikely that there would be that many players starting out at the same time. The only time that I really ran into a large group of other players was during an event. We took out waves of Scorched, got a supply drop, and then went on our way. On Sunday, I ran into a few players. The first was right after I had claimed a workshop, so I thought he wanted to take it from me. But instead, he helped me defend it from super mutants. Or, more accurately, he defended it from super mutants because he took out most of them. I was not as helpful as I would have liked. Later on Sunday, when I was finishing up a quest I had started on Thursday, I ran into a group of 2 players who were also doing what I was doing. I let them go first, then I finished up. Added maybe a minute to my quest. No one really got in my way or tried to kill me. Fallout 76 is lonely in the best way. I'd like to briefly talk about performance. The game was actually quite stable for me. It crashed twice, which sucked, but only twice. No real spectacular bugs. Rarely enemies would move without animating, which is a server issue. Honestly, the kind of problem you'd rather have in a beta. The only graphical glitch I had was that there were no water textures at all. Just a weird glowing hole in the world. I could go in the water, there were just no textures. As far as frame rate and CPU and GPU performance and all that, it was good. The game stayed at 60 frames per second for the most part, although there were frame rate drops dotted around the map. My Ryzen 1300X is supposedly the minimum CPU you'd want, but based on my results, you could go lower and be just fine. I hovered around the mid-50s for usage, and rarely did I see any individual core hit 80% usage or higher. My RX 460, on the other hand, stayed at 90% usage most of the time. I will have a more in-depth dive into performance when the game is in full release. I do have a few complaints, some of which I'll mention now. I don't know if they're trying to be more realistic, but food spoils way too fast. Also, crafting really wasn't explained. I had no idea, until I did it, that scrapping something taught you a new mod some of the time. Maybe I missed a tutorial, but still. Also, you can't sell ammo. Why not? By the end of Sunday, I had over 800 308 rounds. I barely used them, but could I sell them for some 556? No. Why not? Did I miss something? Is there a perk that unlocks the ability to sell ammo? I don't really know. I also had some clipping issues, mostly with a supply drop that dropped into a building that I couldn't get into. Spent 10 minutes exploring the surrounding area for a secret tunnel, but nothing. But even as I make this, none of those issues really spoil the game for me. It's fun, and it's Fallout. That's the thing. It feels like Fallout. I know that there aren't any human NPCs, but the world is still full of life. Plus, I didn't have to hear 8 different NPCs tell me that those fiend leaders shouldn't have messed with our Grand Army every 5 seconds. I cannot wait to play this game again. If you have any questions about Fallout 76, ask in the comments and I will try to answer them. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.